Corporate finance practice problem using OneNote. Warrants, intrinsic value, and speculation premium. Get ready, it's time to take our chance with corporate finance. Here we are in OneNote. If you have access to OneNote, would like to follow along, you're not required to, but if would like to, we're in the icon on the left-hand side. We're in the Practice Problems tab down in the 1911 Warrants, Intrinsic Value, and Speculation Premium tab. Also note, when using OneNote, take a look at the Immersive Reader tool. Our presentations will be down in the text area as well with the same name, same number, but with transcripts. Transcripts that can be translated into multiple different languages and either listened to or read in them. Closing the icon, we have our information up top, calculations on down below. We're looking at the warrants. Warrants providing the option to purchase stock at a price which would be the exercise price, which typically will be different than the stock value, what the stock is typically trading for. It's a little bit different than a option, in part due to the fact that the warrant will typically be longer lasting. So if you were to have a warrant and there was a fluctuation in the price, you have a little bit longer for that fluctuation to take place in order to exercise the warrant. So the warrant allows possibly to purchase at the exercise price, but does not require or mandate to do so. So we have our information up top, the warrants allowing holder to purchase a share for. So we have one share of stock for one warrant at the exercise price being the price that could be purchased, the stock could be purchased for along with the warrant, and we're saying that is going to be $24. We're going to say that the stock sells for $29, so in this case, of course, the exercise price is below the stock price, but the warrant sells for $8. So if we want to think about this, if we were to purchase the warrant, we could purchase the warrant for $8, we could sell at this point in time, we can exercise the warrant at the exercise price of $24 and then purchase the stock at the $24 plus the cost, which was the $8 for the warrants, when the stock price is at $29. But note also what we could do is, because the warrants typically have a longer life, we could hold on to the warrant as a kind of hedge, meaning if the stock then goes up, then we can exercise the warrant at a later point in time, which can be beneficial given the fact that the warrant, of course, is $8 to purchase the warrant, whereas the stock, if we were to invest in the stock, is going to be the $29. So if the stock price then goes up, then we have the option to basically exercise the warrant. However, if the stock price goes down, then we've only actually paid the $8 rather than going in on the full stock at the $29. So we kind of have a cap in terms of the loss. And that's one of the benefits that could be there with regards to the warrants. So we're going to be calculating the intrinsic or minimum value of the warrant and then the speculation premium of the warrant. Calculations will be up top. It's going to be I equals M minus E times N. I is going to be the intrinsic value. So the intrinsic value equals M, or the market value of the common stock, minus the exercise price of the warrant times the number of shares each warrant entitles the holder to purchase. So we have the market price minus the exercise price. That's going to be the difference between these two numbers here. And then we're going to say times N, which that's the number of shares which each warrant entitles the holder to purchase, usually that being 1. So we have just 1 here. It's going to be purchasing 1 share. That'll make the formula pretty easy for the intrinsic value. And then we have the speculation premium, which is going to be the warrant price minus the intrinsic value, which we calculated up above. Let's see what it looks like. We're going to populate this into kind of like a table type of format, just taking this first formula up top and putting it into a table. So we got the market value minus the exercise price of the warrant. Market value at the 29, the exercise price at the 24. The difference between the two is 5. So that means, of course, once again, if we had the warrant and we exercised it, then we'd have a reduction in the price of $5, so we'd have a benefit there compared to the market price of the $5. We're going to multiply by the number of shares each warrant entitles. In this case, that's just simply 1. So 5 times the 1 is going to be 5. That 1 is fairly common. Oftentimes, you got the 1 warrant for the 1 stock, but it may not be all the time, and we'll take a look at an example where that could change. Then we have the speculation premium, which is going to be then the warrant price, because remember, we have to purchase the warrant, and we said we're going to be purchasing it for that $8. So it costs us $8 in order to, if we were then to turn around and exercise it, get basically an intrinsic value, meaning in this case buying the stock below the stock price of $5. So that benefit of $5 that we get the reduced price by cost us $8 in order to get. So we have a difference of the $3, which is the speculation premium, meaning we kind of bought it at a premium if we were to exercise it at this point in time. So it wouldn't make sense, of course, in this example to buy the warrant and then exercise it directly at this point in time, given the fact that we would lose, the $3 if we were to do so. However, we could buy the warrant as a speculation to see what the stock will do in the future to give us some exposure to it. And then if the stock price went up, then we may want to exercise it. So for example, of course, if we think about it, then we're going to say, all right, if we put $8 down and that's going to be the warrant price and we got to buy it for, or we're going to be able to buy the stock for 24, then once the stock price gets over 32, then we're in a situation where we start to benefit. It's kind of like the break-even type of point, which we'll talk about in a future presentation. So that's going to be the idea. So you still might, of course, buy it at this basically speculation premium and then see what would happen in the future as a way to kind of hedge the market if we have a volatile market that's taking place there, especially if you think the market's going to go up. Again, it kind of limits the loss that you have because you're only in on the $8. You're not required to exercise at the 24. Let's do it again. Let's take another one for the warrants with a slightly different twist here. So for this one, we're going to say that the warrant allows the holder to purchase 2 shares this time. That's going to be one of the major differences. The exercise price is going to be the 26, and the stock sells for 35. So we got the 26 to purchase at, which is below the stock price of the 35, and the warrant sells for $20. So we're going to go through our same kind of formulas up top. We got the intrinsic or the minimum value of the warrant, which is going to be the market value of the stock, of the common stock, which is going to be the 35, the same formula up top, minus, we're going to say the exercise price. That's how much we can exercise them for, but we have 2 of them this time. So keep that in mind. The 35 minus the 26 means we have a benefit of 9 for the difference. But then we have 2 of them this time, so the number of shares each warrant entitles is 2. So we're going to take that 9 times 2, and that will give us our 18 as the benefit. So once again, we got the market value of the common stock at the 35, but now we're talking about 2 shares. And then we got the exercise price of the warrant at the 26. The difference is going to be but we have 2 of them there. So the difference is going to be the $9, which would be the benefit in this case, because of course, the market price is above the exercise price, what we could buy the 2 shares for. Then we're going to say times 2. That'll give us our intrinsic value of the 18. So intrinsic value of the 18, but we had to pay $20 for the warrants themselves. So let's calculate the speculation premium, which is going to be the warrant sales price of the 20. And then we have, that's going to be the cost for us. The intrinsic value of the warrant is 18. So the difference between those two then gives us the $2, which once again, if we were simply to buy the warrant and then exercise it, buying it at $20 and then simply exercising it, we would lose money in that case. But you still might be in a situation where if you have a market that you think is going to go up in the future, a volatile type of market, then you could have exposure then by purchasing the warrant and then wait and see what happens in the future. And if the price goes up, then you might have a point in time where it would be beneficial then to exercise the warrant at the exercise price.